Rescue story. Cat rescued from thousands of bees in abandoned park #rescue #rescueanimal. In the heart of an old forgotten park on the outskirts of town, where overgrown weeds choked the paths and rusted swings creaked in the wind, something extraordinary happened one sweltering summer afternoon. It was the kind of place kids dared each other to explore, but adults avoided. Rumors of wild animals and hidden dangers kept most folks away. That's where I found her, a scruffy little tabby cat, trapped in a nightmare of buzzing fury. Thousands of bees swarmed around an ancient oak tree, their hive cracked open like a wound in the bark. The cat had somehow climbed up there, maybe chasing a bird or just seeking shade, but now she was cornered, her fur matted with honey and stings, meowing weakly amid the chaos. I couldn't just walk away. This was my hook into the wildest rescue I'd ever attempted. My name's Alex, and I'm no professional hero, just a guy who volunteers at the local animal shelter on weekends. That day, I was out for a jog, earbuds blasting my favorite rock playlist to drown out the world. The music pulsed in my ears, heavy beats, electric guitars wailing like sirens. But then I heard it, a faint, desperate cry cutting through the tune. I yanked out my earbuds and froze. The park was abandoned, sure, but not silent. A low hum filled the air, growing louder as I pushed through the tall grass toward the massive oak. Wow! I muttered under my breath, staring up at the tree. The branch where the cat perched was alive with movement. Bees everywhere, a black cloud of them darting in angry patterns. The cat's eyes locked on mine, wide with terror. She looked half feral, with patches of fur missing and her tail puffed out like a bottle brush. How long had she been up there? Hours. Days. My heart raced. This wasn't a simple grab and go, one wrong move and I'd be swarmed too. I backed away slowly, my mind spinning. I needed a plan. Calling animal control would take too long, they were understaffed and miles away. The bees were Africanized, I figured, the aggressive kind that had invaded the area years back after some escaped from a research lab. Stories of them chasing people for blocks flashed in my head. Tension built in my chest like a tightening spring. What if the cat fell? What if the hive collapsed? I rummaged in my backpack for my phone, snapping a quick photo to send to my buddy Mike, a beekeeper hobbyist. Help! Cat in bee tree. Ideas. His reply came fast. Smoke him out. Bees hate smoke. But careful, wear protection. Protection. All I had was a hoodie and some water. Suspense hung in the air as I scanned the park for anything useful. An old fire pit nearby caught my eye, charred wood and ashes from some long-ago campfire. Perfect. I jogged over, my sneakers crunching on dry leaves, and started scavenging. Twigs, newspaper scraps from the ground, anything that could burn. My hands shook as I piled it up. Lighting a fire in a tinder-dry park? Risky, but necessary. I struck a match from my emergency kit. Whoosh, the flames leaped up, crackling with heat. Heat, heat, I whispered, fanning the smoke toward the tree with my hoodie like a makeshift bellows. The bees reacted immediately, their buzz turning frantic. Some dive-bombed me, stinging my arms through the fabric. Ow! I yelped, swatting at them. Pain shot through my skin like fire, hot and sharp. Ow, meow, the cat seemed to echo, her cries mixing with mine. I danced back, eyes watering, but kept at it. Smoke billowed up, thick and gray, calming the swarm bit by bit. Bees started dropping away, disoriented, retreating to the hive's depths. The pacing of the rescue felt eternal. Minutes stretched into what seemed like hours. I climbed the lower branches carefully, testing each one for strength. The tree groaned under my weight, bark flaking off like old paint. Higher up, the heat from the sun baked everything. The air shimmered, and sweat poured down my face. Fire more, I thought, tossing another handful of leaves onto the pit below to keep the smoke going. The cat watched me approach, her body trembling. Was she too scared to move? Would she scratch me if I got close? Suspense peaked as a branch snapped under my foot. Crack! And I nearly slipped. My stomach dropped. Bees buzzed inches from my ear, one landing on my neck. Ow! Ah! Another sting, burning like acid. But I pushed on, inching closer. The climax hit when I reached out, my hand inches from her scruff. The hive entrance loomed just above, bees pouring out like lava. One wrong breath, and it was over. I held mine, whispering, "Easy, girl. I've got you." In a blur, I grabbed her, soft fur, warm body, and tucked her against my chest. She didn't fight, she went limp, exhausted. Bees swarmed around us as I descended, stings peppering my back like hot needles. "Fire far," I gasped, jumping the last few feet to the ground. We rolled in the grass, me shielding her from the pursuing cloud. Applause? No, that was just my imagination, or maybe the wind rustling the leaves like a crowd cheering. I sprinted out of the park, Cat clutched tight, my music playlist forgotten in my pocket but the beats pounding in my head. "Yeah, wow," I panted, collapsing onto the sidewalk outside. Safe. At the vet, they cleaned her up, no major damage, just some swelling from the stings. They guessed she'd been a stray, surviving on scraps until the bees claimed her spot. I named her Buzz, for obvious reasons. Weeks later, she curled up on my couch, purring like an engine, her eyes half closed in contentment. The park. It's still abandoned, but I like to think that rescue changed something, maybe inspired others to look closer at forgotten places. As for me, every time I hear bees buzzing or feel a summer heat wave, I smile. Heroes aren't born, they're made in moments like that. And Buzz. She's living proof that even in the wildest chaos, a little smoke and a lot of heart can save the day.